Good Friday afternoon.
Hey,
An hour earlier for us.
look at that.
Should we always do it at this time?
Yes.
Should we? Should we just shift?
Yeah.
We could do that. We'll talk about it. We're not here next week, so it doesn't matter. So we have 2 weeks to think about it. Hi, by the way, my name. Do I know how to say my name? My name is Darren. This over here is Victor, and we are the co-host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox. And on Fridays when we're around, we'll get to that in a few minutes, we do a live stream. Usually it's at 1 p.m. Eastern. Now we're talking it might be at noon Eastern. Who knows? We'll let people talk about it. By the way, we have a Slack workspace. You can sign up for that. Down in the description, there's already a link off to it. All today's news already down in the description. I'm ahead today. I'm ready. But we'll see. Ingen, good to see you. Catch it live again. Finally back at home. Has he been traveling?
By the way, I have a public announcement, something.
Okay, go ahead.
Huge apologies to KCD Argentina folks. I had a bad dentist experience and couldn't attend yesterday, so I messed up with everybody's schedule. Sorry for that.
Everybody had. It's funny. So I had a crown put on Monday. We did a recording on Tuesday morning, my time. Our guest had also just been to the dentist. And you went to the dentist. What's the chances of all three people that we've dealt with this?
I mean, considering that all three are relatively old people, significant chance.
Look, I got my first crown by eating soft serve ice cream. That's when my first tooth split, eating soft serve. Don't want to go there. Hungary. Would you like to try the name, Victor? Because
Hungary.
no. Saba?
Saba, I would guess.
Saba? Thanks for joining us live today.
Saba, Chaba. And Svidaba.
There we go. Today's show is probably going to be a little bit short. Victor has a meeting at the top of the next hour. We are going to be doing some AI stuff today. In fact, most of the stories this week are all about AI. Because there's nothing else going on, apparently.
Nobody's getting VC money if that something is not AI. It's as easy as that. Kind of. Yeah. If you want to get the next round of investment, dear project owner expecting money from VCs, well, put AI words over there. It was security last year. This year it's AI. Learn your lesson.
AI seems to be taking over everything, including the show. I didn't think we'd ever do that, but it's happening.
No, most of them will not survive more than a couple of years. Let's be clear about that. But okay.
So this week's podcast, Victor and I did a review of a post by Ricardo Castro. Sorry. I was getting ready to say it was Castro. I thought it was. Talking about prioritizing. I even have a problem saying that today. Progress over grand overhauls. Talking about greenfield versus iterating and actually shipping as you go. I listened to it this morning on my walk. It was actually better than I thought it was. Of course, you haven't listened to it yet. That's a different conversation.
Does that mean that you thought it's good and now it's fantastic? Or you thought, oh, heck, this is going to be horrible, and it turned out to be good? Okay.
I thought it was okay, and it turned out good. In my opinion, okay. I thought it was better than I thought it was, even though I had listened to it whenever I edited it a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Yeah, this is okay to good, right?" It wasn't fair, it wasn't bad, but it was like, it was we had good source material to work from. Let's put it that way. Ricardo's post made our job easy, so thanks to Ricardo. So the link to that is also underneath there, so you can click over to it and go there. Also, devopsparadox.com/262. You can see that in the image that's right there at the top. We try to make things easy as much as we can. Fortunately, Netlify makes it simple for us. Netlify and Hugo make everything simple and free. That's that. Okay. A couple of things. Here's the big thing. Kubernetes is turning 10. 10 already?
Yeah. 10 years old.
That doesn't seem possible, right?
It feels like it's like 5 years old. I mean, most of the first 5 years was kind of, okay, let's see what this thing is. Oh, this is cool, but I can never use this in production, right? I feel that last 5 years, it's becoming really kind of okay. Now it's running in production. Everybody's serious with it.
And if people aren't running it in production, what's going on? What do you think they're doing?
I don't know. Hopefully using managed applications as managed services. If it's a third option, then you're in trouble.
Well, that means, are you going back to cops? We're just going to run upstream.
No, I
on
didn't
hardware,
mean now manage Kubernetes. That should be managed as well. But I meant kind of if you're not running stuff in Kubernetes, let's at least tell me that you're using Google Cloud Run or AWS Lambda or Azure Container Apps, and you're not still doing whatever you were doing before.
That makes sense. So anyway, happy birthday to Kubernetes in a few weeks. It just doesn't seem possible. It feels like, and I never went to any of the Docker cons. I've never been to any of the KubeCons. It just feels like you said, it feels like 5 years. Maybe it's because we lost 4 years due to the pandemic.
I don't know. Who knows?
Okay. In the AI spectrum, I saw this post from Werner Vogels, who's the CTO at Amazon. Hacking our way to better team meetings. Who doesn't want to have better team meetings other than just not having team meetings at all? Is that the best team meeting at all? So they go ahead.
I have my way of doing meetings, and that's put the camera to be like from this side, from this length, height and up, right? Get Steam Deck and just play your game while you're in a boring meeting. That's my formula.
Hey, Nikos, good to see you. Meetings. Using AI to augment it. So what they're doing is they've open sourced a tool. Now, this is where we're going to get into yes, it's open sourced, but is it? So we'll get there. So basically, gather note from meetings, stay focused on the conversation. Basically, it's a meeting summarizer. That's what it's called. In fact, it's called Bedrock Audio Summarizer. Good idea,
Nice.
right? That's what we want to do. So we record a meeting, unless you're in the EU and then you have GDPR reason, you can't. Okay, whatever. I'll leave all that there. Let's assume you've got recorded audio from your meeting. So here's the picture. And it's not overly complex, in my opinion. You have the audio file number 1, going into S3, which triggers a Lambda to do a transcribe. That then sends a message over to EventBridge, which then sends a message to Bedrock to summarize the meeting. Nothing wrong with that. And then drop a text file back up into S3.
So it is self-hosted, I'm guessing, right?
And there's where we're going to go.
Okay.
So, yes, it is. It's self-hosted, not a problem. In fact, the repository is out here. It is MIT 0, which is the best flavor of MIT at this point, in my opinion.
I had no idea that there is something.
There's a
any
handful of
number
different-
after MIT. Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple. So again, here's the picture. They provide everything you need to do to stand up everything. So you need Python, you need Node, you need an AWS account. Okay. Right. Now here's where we're going. You need an AWS account. And you have to have access to Anthropic's Claude 3, which is good, through Bedrock. So I agree, completely open source. No problem with that. I can't test this out without spending money.
So it works only with S3. Okay.
Well, I mean, it only works with Amazon Transcribe, the service, Amazon Bedrock, Amazon Lambda, and Amazon S3.
Yeah.
No, it's small.
To test it out, it won't be more than $1. So
$1, $2, $3. It's not going to be a lot. So I'm whining a little bit. So to Werner and everybody else that actually commit, let's see. Actually, I didn't look at the commit history. Did Werner actually do a commit? No, he didn't. Actually, let's see. So Eric, Damon, Eric, Amazon auto commit, JB none. Okay. So Werner, please make a commit, at least to the README. Come on, just you posted about it. Okay, I'm whining a bit. Yes, I would have to pay a little bit to do this. Yes, I would have to. Now, this would be the interesting thing. Normally, what happens when you spin up something in AWS, what is the first thing you have to create?
VPC.
I don't think a VPC is required here, which is good, right? This is how I want to be able to run apps in AWS, right? S3, I don't need a VPC. I don't think. I don't know. The Lambdas, I don't need a VPC. So it'll be interesting to see how this actually works out. I haven't actually tried it yet.
Yeah.
But then here's the summary of the conversation with speakers denoted as speaker 1, speaker 2. So can't do true diarization, but okay. Conversation revolved around the English Premier League, whatever that is. I guess that's soccer, football. And then there's all that stuff. So have a meeting, have it shipped off, and then have it come back, which is what a lot of companies have already been doing. But here's how you can roll it yourself, right?
I'm not sure about this specific solution, but something like that is godsend, man. Kind of, you have no idea how many meetings I miss for one reason or another, and then kind of, oh, am I going to listen to the whole conversation? Nah. And then kind of it's either all or nothing, right? So this is nice. I'm surprised, but isn't this, and I'm asking this out of ignorance, isn't this something that Zooms of the world are doing already or no?
That's what I'm saying. This is already built in. Like what I would like out of this is great, right? They're talking about EPL and whatever, right? It would be nice if it also came in here. You're going back to, I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. But if it was smart enough to go ahead and timestamp out when it could tell when the conversation is changing. And if it could give me a timestamp to where I could drop right back into the full document or the full audio, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I want you to hear this thing. Like, okay, they're talking about, going to the restaurant this weekend. Okay, skip over that. Get me to where I need to start. Yeah. It's sort of like a YouTube chapter, right? I want to be able to get to the point in the video where I want to be. I want to be able to get to the point in the meeting where I want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. And of course, anytime Werner puts something out, you should always read it just because it's long. And they did a Rust CLI and whatever else. So anyway.
This all looks like my primary interest around this is, okay, so this is a cool thing to build, right? Nobody's going to use it, right? Especially since most meetings are somehow led by sales or what's or not. So nobody's going to use it, but it's so cool that you can build it.
Let's answer Ingen's question here. You've been trying to figure out what book to write next? This would be it. Right. This book could actually probably stick around because there's no tech involved to it, other than, when the Steam Deck goes away.
If I would write such a book, I would write a book about the hacks that I used, but I'm not using anymore. Because if I make public what I'm doing right now, then that would make it impossible for me to continue doing it, right?
Because of competition, or you just don't want people
because
to know?
kind of if everybody knows, kind of now I cannot have this movement with my hands anymore because somebody from my company might have listened to what I said about Steam Deck. Now I need to come up with something else.
This is where you need to get a pair of glasses that have heads-up display, and then you can actually be watching a movie while you're in the meeting. Man,
you have no idea how cool would it be if Apple, what's the name? Is it Glass? No.
Vision Pro.
Vision Pro. You know how it gives the picture of you to those in a meeting with you? If that would be realistic, that would be amazing. Imagine being in a virtual reality, watching a movie or whatever, and people think that you're in a meeting. That would be absolutely bloody amazing.
I don't have time this weekend to work on that, but yeah. It'll get better. So anyway, that's the example. They're calling it, they don't have a name for it. What is it? What do they call it? The Amazon Bedrock Audio Summarizer. You can tell that didn't go through the product marketing team. They just made up a name and it left just whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Okay. IBM is open sourcing some of their models, which should be interesting. Just because whatever. So they did CodeNet, which was, big, massive thing. They're doing some stuff for Ansible. Interesting. IBM Z. You have a spare Z machine laying around, right? By the way, if you don't know what Z is, that's the mainframe. And all the other stuff. So what they're open sourcing. A series of decoder Granite code models, blah, blah, blah. Trained with a code written in 116 programming languages. So it's like, oh, this will be interesting. And then, of course, they do their comparison. Which I was trying to figure out what tool we're going to look at today. Prompt Foo, I did something with this week. Very interesting. Who knows if they're actually using Prompt Foo to do these comparisons? Because that's, in my opinion, the way I've played with it. It's the way to work. So they're comparing. And, of course, IBM comes out on top every time.
Oh,
except
really?
for fixing code here. CodeGemma was better at fixing code. But yeah, they beat. So it looks like CodeGemma in general is the closest for most everything. But which is the Google one. We'll see. I haven't gone in to see if people have quantized them yet, so we can actually run them. But anyway,
don't you like some objective comparisons, man? That's awesome.
Does a vendor ever do an objective comparison? We both work for vendors, but I think we can all say that out loud.
I'm pretty sure that single one where it wasn't the best option, somebody from marketing came. Come on, guys, this is too much. Kind of, can you lower one of those, just to make it and be authentic and say, okay, it's not. We're really not subjective. We're not the best at everything.
But IBM is the best at everything, right? Isn't that the way it is? And they're comparing their models against their models, and here's the actual comparison against other things. So, good. I mean, if anybody need to put a model out, IBM should be one of those people, right? Out of all the companies, because, heck, it's IBM. One interesting thing I thought, if you're a Java developer, this may be of interest to you. If you're not a Java developer, still may be of interest to you. This isn't a real app, but it's basically a quick bootstrap if you wanted to create your own chatbot. Mm-hmm. It's using LangChain for J, but under the hood, it's LangChain. So if you're using Go or whatever, you should be able to see the parallels. So basically, it's a quick, make a copy of this repository and then start doing your own work. Like it gets you started. It's a bootstrapper. That's all it is.
Nice.
So this is on my list. And it gives you all that because, again, using LangChain, you can go straight to, because everything is in memory at this point. Makes sense for a bootstrap. But if you wanted to do a vector DB, just use whatever LangChain provides. This is like when you'd use a hash map versus actually using a data store, right? Just got to start somewhere. So nice quick start. Your video this week was a single pane of glass with Clusterpedia.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Strange name.
Well, it describes it well in a way. It's like Wikipedia for Kubernetes clusters, right? Being able to, essentially, it allows you to query clusters in plural, right? And it does it lightning fast because it's not really, my first reaction when I saw it for the first time was, okay, so this is replacement for a shell script, so that the shell script that loops through every single cluster and executes the command and then aggregates data. No, but actually they're moving data from clusters into a database, and then you query that database, right? So you don't query clusters, really, you query the database, which is awesome. But what makes it absolutely even more awesome is that database is not accessible directly. I mean, you can access it directly. It's Postgres or MySQL, right? You can do it. But they built a Kube API-like thing on top of it, so that you keep executing kubectl this or that, and you interact with what looks like Kubernetes API, but it's realistically querying aggregated data from a database. Absolutely awesome.
That makes too much sense. I mean, why do you need to hit the source systems all the time? Let something scrape it, store it, and then query.
Yeah, especially if you consider that etcd, which is basically whenever you send a request to Kubernetes, that request from API is sent to, it's querying etcd database and giving you something back, right? And etcd is a bottleneck, of Kubernetes right now, right? At least at larger clusters. So you can easily get to a situation where querying a single cluster takes a while, right? And querying a fleet is just nonsense. So it's not only that it's better solution, but it's the only solution considering the disastrous state of etcd today.
So that was Clusterpedia over on the DevOps Toolkit channel.
Yeah.
Your videos come out on Mondays, right? Is it
Yeah.
Mondays?
Mondays.
Okay. So videos there. Podcast on Wednesdays. We're here on Friday. We're missing 2 days of the week. How are we going to fill those 2 days of the week? Work.
So at some moment, without committing to a date, we're going to start a new season of You Choose. So that will be, I don't remember which day it was, but one of the other days. Wednesday.
Tuesday or Thursday. Yeah.
Something like that. Anyways. So that day will be filled.
Good. Okay. So for today's AI tool that we're going to bang on just a little bit, we have GPTScript. We've talked about it before. We actually haven't tried anything. So I'm going to switch over my screens here real quick. So let me do that. And then we'll see how many people start watching. This has always been the interesting thing. Anytime we start doing the demo, our live views start going way the heck up.
Oh, people like live demos. Nice.
I guess. All right. So full screen here, or at least for us. So GPTScript, it allows. So this is sort of like a lightweight crew AI, in my opinion, but it starts at a much simpler thing to where it's just a script. And I haven't even tried this. We'll probably go and try this one in a minute. But we'll look at the quick start. So I'm on my what am I on? I'm on my Mac Studio M1. So I installed it. The CLI using GPTScript. No, I haven't gone to. Help me. What are we going to do? What was the other thing we were going to test? Because I'm going to be able to rebuild the machine too soon. What? Not Nix. What's
DevBox.
it? DevBox. Thank you. Haven't done a DevBox yet. So anyway, GPTScript. Did that. Got an API key from OpenAI. It only works with OpenAI at this point. I imagine I could make it work with a Llama, but didn't bother. So I'm spending money right now. Then we run a Hello World script. So let's go ahead and double check the Hello World script. So copy that, come over here, paste it in, and I get back Hello World. Seems boring, right? That's good. We want everything. By the way, there was a new release of this yesterday at the time we were doing this. Let me double check that. Yes, yesterday. 6.0 came out. Because I did a video about it this week and it was an older version. So we ran that, we get the output, that's great. Now there's also examples, but they give you a debug view. That's what we're going to play with here. So I'm in the right directory, I'm going to start up the server. And I haven't tried this on this machine, so let's see what happens. So we'll do this, come over here to the browser, start this up. And then everything that is in the examples directory, which will come back over here. So you can do all these things, just things, whatever it is.
That's kind of preloaded.
Yep. So then everything that's right here is now available to us over here.
Okay.
So
nice.
The SQLite download GPT is, and you can do caching or not caching, which is nice. Oh, I didn't see this before. They even do light. Ooh.
No. Don't do that to me. I'm on a big screen now. Look at me. Don't.
I can give you a sunburn from that. Okay, so let's look at what the SQLite download is. So download it. So there's no parameters in this. Okay, so it's going to download a file, a zip file, extract it, inspect the schema, form and run a query, and then remove the database file and download. Okay, all right. So no parameters. So that's optional freeform input. Nothing to put there anyway. Let's click run. Let's see what happens. I literally have not tried this part out. I had tried out the Echo, but I hadn't tried this UI before. Let's see. The artist with the most number of albums in the database is Iron Maiden with 21 albums. Okay. Seems interesting. Or not. Okay. So taking a look at the... Because to me, I'm looking at this. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more because this is hard to see, even for me. So download that, expand the archive, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, great. Just download the zip file and open it up and do it for me. But think about all the things it did. It downloaded a file. We told it it was SQLite. We told it to understand the structure, create a query and run it with the most number of albums. And then once you're done, delete it all. That's actually pretty interesting, right? That's a lot of work.
I think that that's pretty cool, but you know what I'm missing here? Or maybe we don't know how to do it. The output of the commands. Because, so my question is, and I'm just thinking aloud, right?
Yeah.
Do I want to run that every single time, or do I want that to become a script? Hence slightly more reliable for the future, right?
Right. So what you're saying is it would be nice.
Is it a one-shot thing? Kind of. I have to do this now and never, and most likely never again, right?
Well, here's the
Or
commands.
is it
So
repetitive? Okay, there we go.
so if we expand this, so it's
no,
just
those are not commands, right?
okay. Well, hang on a second. So these are the downloads. It did the. Here's the command unzip. We told it to download. It unzipped it to a temporary location.
Yeah.
Then it created the table. Figured out the schema. All right. So there's everything it figured out. Holy cow. Then here's the command. Select artist name. So I think as we're digging into this, we are sort of getting to where you want to be. Because then
Sort of. I'm just
Not
thinking
exactly.
aloud
yeah.
whether you would like a script or not. And I don't have the answer, just thinking aloud, right?
No, but if you didn't know how to write the script, at least you know what steps were taken here to do what
That's
you've
cool.
got. Right? That part is okay.
Yeah.
Let's what do we want to try next? Actually, let's look at that echo real quick just for grins, just to see what it was. So any string comes in and you get back whatever you send in. All right, let's go to echo just because why not? So if I put in the input, it's going to be, and this is actually pretty cool because this tester helps you. It just gives you the fields. So we'll say hi. That's a real thing. Waiting for a model response. So yeah, I just paid half a cent to have it say hi to me. Okay, that's interesting. You can run again. Not that I'm going to. Describe code. Oh, this is interesting. Let's see what this is. Find the top 10 Go files that have the most lines of code, then summarize each one. Look at the summary of all the files for a short description of this program and its function. So it's calling 2 tools. Actually, it's got 4 tools that it's using. But 3 of the tools, sorry, I said 2, I meant 3, are down here. So here's compare, here's count, here's summarize. And what am I passing in? This is interesting. I don't know. How does it know what to compare? It's like it's almost, I need to be in a directory or something, right? It's like I would expect. Let's see.
I mean, I assume that those tools are kind of tools written. No. I don't know. I'm confused, man.
Well, so the tools are just like in Crew AI, you had to write all the Python stuff and do all this. Whereas this, you can just define whatever it is. So it's just going to run a bash script in this case. But
the part that confused me, I guess the top part is what is the originally written, right?
Right. This is the job to do.
Exactly. The confusing part is that if I would want to start writing that, using it, right? I would definitely be able to write that, find the top 10 Go files or whatever the description is. But tools? do you have to write the tools that should be used?
Yeah, well, not
That's-
always. Like there's a handful, like the sysfind. Anything at sys. Is included in GPTScript. But if you want to write your own tool, that's how you write the tool. You just write it in line. Let's see. Let's look at this one. Like here's generate a README at. I don't want to do any generation right now. Sentiments. Okay, this was a new one that came in yesterday or day before yesterday. So it's pulling in a browser, so you can specify tools elsewhere and then here. So these are two external quote unquote tools, even though one's defined here. And you give it a URL of the tweet to analyze. Let's do this one. Perform the actions in the following order. Get the text of the tweet referenced by the URL that will pass in, then analyze the sentiments expressed in this tweet, and then we say sentiments. So it's going to, the text of is going to use this, the browser. And the sentiments, it's going to figure out, okay, I need to go use this. So what tweet am I going to go get? Let me find, actually, Patrick and I went back this morning on something. So he was having some YouTube chapter things. And it's like, hey, you know that somebody knows something about that, right? It's not like I don't do it almost every day. Where is Patrick? I can't find it. Okay, here. Let's do, here. We'll do this one. This one's actually even worse. Vitamin Shop, if you would like to. So I don't have Twitter logged in on this machine. So I'm going to pull in a Vitamin Shop, which is a place to go get supplements. Let's run it and see what it says. I am unable to access external URLs or browse the internet. Please provide necessary information or files directly, and I'll be able to assist you further. So I'm wondering in that case, I'm wondering if that means, because Twitter you can't scrape without being logged in.
Yeah, it could be.
Right, so there's probably a credential that I would have to give that browser, which of course they don't tell you that you need to do, which is fine. I'm not going to give them, fault them on that time. Oh, okay, here we go. This is always a hard one, time zones. Let's go do time. Then we'll take a trip. Well, that's interesting.
No, ask time to get
Orgs, different time. Okay, I guess I'll just put it in. Let's just say,
what's the time in CET?
what is your, is it, so like this is New York, right? So that would tell me, should tell me right now, 12:33, which is true. So
Okay.
that's correct. But what is your ISO code for? Is it Europe?
CET?
Is it just
CET?
CET? I'll just try CET. Let's just try
Yeah.
that. Current time is 18:33. That's correct.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's see, is there anything else? I did the Bob things. I don't care about the cars. Describe code. What's describe code? Is that the one we looked at earlier? Oh, yeah, it is.
It still it so bothers me, the tools section. I don't know why. Sorry.
Well, you
for
have to
that.
define. I mean, if it doesn't know what to do, you have to define it. So here's what I'm
No,
thinking.
but here's the time, right? Kind of like, if I go now to less specialized AI tool
Yeah.
and do the same thing, I will get the time without telling it, hey, use the application time,
Well,
right?
that's what I'm wondering is if it's going to. So I don't know what to do with this. And that would tell you, okay, now I need to go write the tool for this. I don't know.
No, I was more thinking that, hey, I was imagining it being the tool that comes with some tools baked in. You can extend that with additional tools, as we already saw.
Yeah.
But then once it gets the tools, okay, kind of like, and that each of those tools that are baked in or added
Yeah.
come with some kind of information. Okay, so use me to interact with the database, right?
Right.
And from there on, why would I? If I tell you, hey, go connect to this database and get me the list of tables or whatever was one of those, that doesn't seem like I should need to tell it. By the way, use something called SysSQL or whatever the tool is.
Right. So if we do this, it gives you. I wish it. Here, let me see if there's a help on this, because that was a. No, not really. So the list tools. Just do that again. So there's like standard HTTP things, downloads. Like a lot of times, like the way I'd probably write this myself is I would start writing without any tools, see where it fails, find any built-in tools, see if it still fails, and then go from there. That's the only thing I can think of. It's still a heck of a lot easier than doing the crew AI stuff, I think. Because
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to write something like this than have to go in and do things in Python. Not opposed to Python, but this just seems like a simpler step.
No, I definitely think that there is something to it. It's very, very kind of, it gives, maybe not in the current iteration, but gives a glimpse that is this where we go when programming or kind of interacting with machines is concerned, right?
Right. So
But
recipe.
you probably agree that if you look at the future, kind of unknown future, doesn't
Yeah.
matter how many years from now, right? I should be able to say, go to the database and get me the list of tables.
Right. So here's a recipe generator application. Image upload, automatic ingredients. So this one looks interesting. So what is this one doing? Recipe generator. So a bunch of built-in tools, a recipe generator, and then it's using GPT-4 vision. So I'd have to figure out where all these other little tools are that exist. So from a picture named with, okay, let me find a picture. What's picture?
It'll probably ask you for URL, so you would need to
Well, that's
have
so.
it.
Let me load it up and see what it's asking for, because I didn't optional free. Jeez. Yeah, see, it's this part that's always like. Well, not Mexican food. I said a Mexican flag. Let's see.
Yeah, just
food.
give it the URL.
That's one. I just got to find one. There we go. Just trying to. Oh, come on. Copy image address. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. We'll see.
Actually,
See, it's looking
if
for.
you go back to the description, it looks for the current directory in something named grocery.
Oh yeah.
For the pictures named with grocery in their name located in the current directory.
So I would have to.
Figure out where it's running to begin with.
Well, no, I know where it's running. That's fine.
Okay, yeah.
So let's go to recipe generator. Make a directory called.
No, it's a picture. So the name
okay.
of the picture needs to contain word grocery.
Okay. So I'm going to say Mexican. Actually, I need to go get it first. Of course.
And no, put it with quotes.
Oh, right. Thank you.
No,
that's a 403.
too
That's
many.
That's fine. Here.
Too
hang on a
many
second.
slashes.
I'll drop it in. Hang on a second. I have my ways. If I can think out loud, GitHub. It gets a little stressful when you're trying to do this live, right? It's just trying to not waste time. Okay. So there's that. All right. So now inside of here I have the Pexels Chicaton. So I'm going to move Pexels to Mexican grocery. .jpg, right? Now, did I do it right? Grocery in their name. Yes. All right, let's run that again. So there's nothing to enter. Okay, it found it. Interesting. Vision. All right. Well, see, this is where I just want the answer right now. But I know it's doing work.
Against what is this working?
GPT-4 Turbo.
Running locally or
No.
over the
Open OpenAI
hitting
GPT.
rate limits and what's not.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do it one more time just to see what happens. Could be. I mean, it finds the image. So that's interesting. If it doesn't work this time.
But then it needs to upload that image there.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's a small image, right? Because it's only that's a meg. That's pretty big. It should be a lot smaller. We might be running into that problem. Because I think I've allowed for that model. I don't remember specifying model usage. Or allowed models, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's probably going to time out again.
Yeah.
Oh well. We can let that run.
No images for you.
Maybe. Anything else we want to take a look at here? I think that was...
Yeah, I think I get the gist.
Wait, we have to do travel agent. Because why not, right? We'll let that be the last one we take a look at. And that'll be... Treasure hunt was the one that was added this week too. Travel agent. There it is. Thank you.
There we go.
So plan a vacation in France starting on March 1st for 2 weeks. Okay. Let's see, because this is doing web scripts. No input. So so the input is this.
Yeah.
Right. Which, okay, that's fine. Click on run. Let's see what happens. Of course, by the time you would call a travel agent to start figuring this out for you, you'd still be on hold.
If you have a follow-up question, you will be on longer call here.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah, and it was also looking for the dates of this year, which is funny, like in the past. Due to a search error. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that maybe your... Yeah, there's something wrong with you, man, but...
Yeah.
There we go.
Now here's the sad thing. How in the heck do I make it stop?
Shut it down.
Well, there's nothing to shut down because I've already made the request. So now it's sitting over at OpenAI doing its thing.
There is PS... P-kilo, sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, I can do that. That's not a problem. It's just a matter of... Because not saving empty credential for tool, fetching, running npm. Actually, I guess it's doing something. I just don't know what it's doing. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, here it goes. Let's see if it works.
Ah.
I see things starting to show up.
I don't know how GPT works, but I use Azure OpenAI.
Yeah.
And the first request comes almost instantly and then starts delaying on purpose.
Yep.
Rate limiting or something.
Could be. That's fine. I mean, I only funded it with $10, so it's not like I'm not funding Sam Altman's next What do you want to call it? Yacht, I guess. I don't know. Jet. Still interesting because if I did find a picture, which let's go just open up the picture and see how close it's getting, because nobody's seen this, right? We haven't actually seen this image. So here's the image.
You gave it. That's why it's confused. You gave it a meal and not ingredients.
No, that's what you're supposed to do. You give it an image
of ingredients.
Yeah, but okay, let's go back to that because we're having an argument now. Recipe generator. Perform the following.
Give me a list of ingredients from pictures.
Oh, named with grocery. For each picture in the previous step. Okay, well, I didn't read the whole thing.
The word grocery did not give you any clue. Is that how your groceries look? I mean, that's how my groceries look like. I buy only prepared and frozen food. I cook myself, but I understand that that's not a grocery list.
Okay, well, let's see what happened. So let's, I don't know.
There is only one answer to the list of those ingredients is whatever that dish is called.
Yep. And say, okay, so this is interesting. So it says it saved it. Where did it save it? I wonder if it's up a level. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Cat recipe. Huh.
There you go.
Prepare the tacos. Prepare the sides. Add a slice of lime for squeezing over the tacos. So they didn't have a lime in here. So they know what's
there is
going
lime,
on.
Man. Look at it, lime. Bottom left.
Oh, right there. Sorry. You're right. But see, it's blown out to me. Like it doesn't
now, what is more concerning is that thing on top of your rice looks like cat's poop.
Well, it's actually the crema on top of the plantain is include a dollop of cream or sour cream on top of the tacos. Or okay, whatever. I don't like sour cream. Serve the tacos with a cold beverage such as a Mexican beer or a refreshing agua fresca. Yeah, that's not so bad. Even though I didn't follow the instructions, it still figured it out. Either that or I don't understand the instructions. I don't know. Oh well. It's GPTScript.
Nice.
It was interesting.
Yeah. They should work on examples, right? I think that examples that are not really software related are not that good, because I would definitely do this easier and faster if I went to ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
The ingredients part.
Yep. Seems to be an interpreter from natural to scripts to using tools. Yep. Compiler. That would be the next logical thing. Would be to have it compile things in. Going back to your initial example, right? When we downloaded that SQLite database, right? That should then take that and then compile it into something that's going to be runnable from that point forward, right? That would be what we would want. So, okay. Hopefully everybody had fun with that. And yes, our numbers did go back up.
I'm kind of AI ignorant, but basically we're talking about conceptually this would fit more into large action model than or action model like than GPT, right? Kind of learn how to operate those tools and then translate my input into operations, right? Which is action model in a way, right?
Yep, I think so.
Kind of Rabbit AI or whatever, R1. That's basically the closest I can imagine to what this is doing.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, it was fun. I don't know if it was fun or not.
It is fun.
Learning.
It's always fun to try something.
Yeah. We'll try to come up. I might, when we come back in 2 weeks, now again, we're off next week. Victor is traveling. We may take a look at prompt foo to where we can compare models. I need a little more time to test that out, to come up with something a little more. I need to spend a little bit of time and then we can go off the rails like what we just did here. Because I don't want to waste too much time. But if the news keeps on being like it has been the past few weeks to where there's not much going on. I mean, this week was Red Hat Summit. And of course, it was AI, and AI.
And Ansible.
And
A
Ansible.
lot of fun.
There
I
was
mean,
a lot of
I got
Ansible.
a
That's
bunch of
true.
emails. Are you coming? Are you coming?
saw
Are you
that, yeah.
coming?
I
And
did
the
too.
only word that I scanned from that is Red Hat and Ansible. I don't know what else was there.
Yeah. So that was this week. There was, I think there was one other, there was a data sort of thing. Oh, wait, and DevOps UK was this week? Don't remember.
Yes, it was. At least I saw some pictures from a few people. Yeah.
So, but there just hasn't been that much news. Is it? Again, I'm questioning, has everybody just gone ahead and gone on summer vacation in May?
I think that everybody's trying to figure out how to change their products to be AI something to get the next round of funding. That's what they're doing.
By the way, I saw a congratulations to the Crossplane project for having the best Veil validator. Have you looked at it?
No, what's Veil validator?
Okay, we talked about Veil before. Here, let me pull this back up. We have 4 minutes. I'll do that. So if you go to veil.sh, Veil is a linter for editorial style guides.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
right.
And we won the award or something?
No, you didn't win an award, but it was somebody commented that it was GitHub Crossplane. It was in your docs. So where is your docs? I guess I will look for docs because that would make too much sense. Docs. And then underneath the utils directory, there's a standard place you put things is Veil. And you go to styles and there's just a bunch of styles. But then under Crossplane, you have one called corporate speak. So if there's a corporate speak, you turn it into an error. So if somebody says sunsetting or stakeholder or ballpark, these are all bad. These are all bad things. So North Star, digital transformation, one of our favorite phrases. So anyways, I saw somebody come in. I was like, oh, I need to call that out today because I'd forgotten about it.
Yeah.
But the docs are, when you see something like corporate speak, imagine if you would have written it, it would have been a corporate something I'm not going to say. But anyway. Oh, provider word. This was the other thing too. That's interesting how you can use Veil. This might be something I play with some, not soon, but like cross-plane words. Here are the words that are your words.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can define, because sometimes you might write it, somebody may put a space in, they may not camel case it right, or
Nice.
whatever.
I had no idea that exists, but this looks really cool.
Yeah, veil.sh. And it is open source, I think it is. It's maintained by one person. This is Log4j people. So, not Log4j, it's MIT, like legit MIT. I say there's more than that, but there's primarily one maintainer.
That's how it usually is.
Yeah. And they get some support from these groups.
Nice.
Right. So anyway, in case you didn't know it, and you're responsible for writing docs, take a look at Veil. All right. So again, not here next week, but podcast will still be here. Victor's video, I'm assuming, will still be there Monday.
Yes, it will.
And the next Monday, even though you're gone next week.
Next Monday, I will be with Engin in Istanbul.
Oh, going
Not
to Istanbul.
Monday, sorry, Tuesday.
Okay. Sounds like fun. So thanks everybody for being here. Again, off next week. So you won't see anything from us there. But join us up in the Slack workspace. Again, the link is down in the description. And we will talk to you again in a couple of weeks. Have a great week away from us. That should be fun. So thanks everybody. Talk to you later.